Hey, you got time for a beer? I know I do. Welcome to my show. My name's Jake. It's not Thursday, but I do have a new beer here that I haven't had before. But it's vacation, so more new beers. You can find me at tubajake_69 on Untapped, YouTube, and Twitter, and on Instagram at tubajake_. Don't forget to tell me your stories. I like to hear them. Hopefully you do too, because I'm going to tell you stories. They might be my stories. They might not be my stories. They're most likely my stories, though, because I don't have a lot of other people's stories that they've told me on here. I just keep asking, hoping that someday someone will tell me a good story. I see stories, but nobody's told me one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because I like it when you do that, and it makes it so that other people get to see what's going on here, and hopefully you like that too. So anyway, the beer I've got for you today is Whirled Tart POG by Old Nation Brewery. They're out of Williamston. It's a golden ale with natural passion fruit, orange, and guava flavor. 4.5% alcohol by volume, 16 IBUs. It's a pint of this. It says here, it's tart. It says tart, fruity, aromatic. A beer whirled with succulent, sweet, and tart passion fruit, orange, and guava flavor. Whirled Tart POG, POG, if you will, strikes a delicious balance of tart fruit flavor that will tease your taste buds. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, look for seasonal releases of Whirled to enjoy year-round. This seems delicious, and I can't wait to have it. So, let's get that started. So what I'm expecting, it's a golden ale. I'm expecting it to be kind of golden, I would hope, but it's also got fruit flavors in it. So I'm kind of expecting it to be a little bit not clear. It's going to be cloudy, I'm expecting. Golden ales generally are not cloudy, but if they've got fruit in them, they tend to be, because, chunks of stuff. 16 IBUs means that it's not super bitter, but there are hops in it, which sounds pretty good, really. I like these with a little bit more hops in them. Not what I was expecting. I was expecting the golden part, which it is. It's golden. But I was expecting some cloudy in there, and there is not cloudy in there. I think if I pour this slow enough, it won't go out over the top. It's a golden ale, so the head should go down pretty quick. And at 4.5%, the head's going to go down pretty quick, because it doesn't have a lot of the stuff that makes the bubbles stick together. It's like adding corn syrup to a bubble mixture, makes it so that they stick better. It's like that. Not even any stuff at the bottom. That's interesting. Okay, so not exactly what I was expecting, which is probably better. I don't know what it tastes like yet, because I haven't had any of this. So it smells like guava. I've got a couple of different stories to tell you about this one. It's a strange taste. It's the orange that really does it, I think. The orange or the tartness of the guava or the passion fruit. I'm not sure which, but it's one of those two. Does this remind me of a beer? Not a beer really, but I remember having Summer Hummer at a party, and we just decided that we were going to have Summer Hummer, and we didn't really have anything to mix it in, so we had a box, like I don't know, it was a box that we made Summer Hummer in and just kind of dipped it out of. But it was a group of like 4 of us, and we made a batch of Summer Hummer, and it lasted us all night, which was nice, because still, it was not a good morning, or the next morning for that. Actually, I think my cousin's wedding was that weekend, and I was still hungover 2 days later. It was enough. It was enough. But that's what this reminds me of. That was a really good Rite of Spring party. It really was. There was a pond. campfire. I burned my shoes a little bit because, I mean, there's a fire pit. So, you know, didn't want to bug the guy's brother because we were at his brother's place. So we built a toilet out in the woods. I mean, we were building other stuff that day too before then, but built the toilet out in the woods for real. It was nice. It looked out over the pond. Could see stuff out beyond it. Had a toilet seat and everything. It's very nice. But the thing that I thought of first was Disney. I mean, and usually I think of Disney World when I think of the Pog juice that they have down there, or that they had down there. I don't think they do. You got to make your own now, I think. But, what did we use for that? I want to say it was like Coors Light or something like that. I don't remember for sure. It might have been PBR. We were on a big PBR kick right then. So it might have been PBR that we were making that summer hummer with, just so you know. No fancy vodka, just the orange juice concentrate and PBR, I think. Was enough. It made it taste fancy. Maybe it was the box. I don't know. So anyway, usually it'd make me think of Disney World, but in this case, I thought, let's go to the left coast. So out to the west coast, and my first time going to Disneyland was actually not very long ago. It's like 2018, I think. My sister just moved out to California, so she just, I think she graduated in 2018, so been right around in there. And my other sister drove from Louisiana, where she graduated from, to meet my sister's in-laws in California, where she was going to be living, because they had to get the car from one part of the country to the other, so they just drove, which was great, and I think that would have been great, but it took them a whole week to get there. One sister is a teacher, the other one is a college administrator now. At that point in time, she wasn't quite yet, but shortly thereafter she was. So they do get summers off for the most part. Now the one does for sure, and the other one does for the most part. Much like people get vacations, and I get vacations for the most part, being a manager and all. Anyway, I couldn't do that, so like my one sister is going to stay out there for who knows how long, like forever, I guess is the plan, but that's really not the plan anymore, apparently. But the other one, I was planning on staying out there for a little while, because I mean, it's California. The central coast of California is gorgeous. It's amazing. What did they say when I was going up there? Mediterranean climate. It's really weird when you're in the ocean, you're looking back at San Luis Obispo. It looks like you are in the Mediterranean someplace. I don't even know where that, Italy, something like that. I don't know, but it's beautiful. Kind of dry, super warm in the day, or super warm, like high 70s in the daytime, low 60s in the evening. But it's like that all year round. It's really nice. So we went to Disneyland. When they got out there, I flew in to LA. Apparently you shouldn't fly into LAX really if you're going there, but it's a lot easier to do that than fly into just about anywhere else. But I flew into LAX, and then I was going to get a bus, be driven out to Anaheim, because that's where the hotel was. Not really a bus that goes out there like, oh yeah, it's a Holiday Inn that takes you to the Holiday Inn bus. It takes you to the Holiday Inn in LA. They're not in the same spot. Anaheim's a long ways out. So I ended up getting a cab. But first, I got on the Holiday Inn bus, and the driver was nice enough at the end of my bus trip to take me to another bus that was going back to the airport, and I took the bus from there. But I got to see like a whole big bunch of LA things. Like, I'm pretty sure I didn't get to see it well, but I'm pretty sure I got to see the Hollywood sign. I didn't really get to be out at all. I did have to transfer buses, but it was like in the middle of the streets and whatnot, in downtown LA, because that's where hotels are. But then I rode back to the to LAX, and then got a cab from there to the Holiday Inn in Anaheim. It was an adventure for sure. I mean, I'd flying by myself. I obviously did not take. I took first class accommodations because, I mean, how many times do you get to go to Disneyland? Actually, every time I've flown out to California, I've gone first class, because once you've done it, it's not worth going anywhere unless you can. It's very nice. Man. Thinking back to a different time when I was flying down to see my sister, actually for Mardi Gras, which was kind of great. Because, like I said, she lived in Louisiana. At this point, she was living in Lafayette. So I went down there for that with my mom. I was working third shift at the time. I left directly after I got off work. Like, I had enough time to come home, get my mom, take her out, and take the two of us, because I had packed the night before, take the two of us out to the airport, and then we flew out. First class means, if you're flying in small planes, means you get as much alcohol as you want. I think I had 2 beers before we took off on that first flight, which was fine, because I'd had like a 5-hour energy, and I think I had another one to have, or I got another one to have. It was great. And then we got to our plane to go to Lafayette. I sat down in the plane because I hadn't been to sleep since like 11 o'clock the previous morning, and here it is 11 o'clock Central Time the next day. It was at least then. Sat down in the plane and passed out. I was out until we got to Lafayette. It was great. Just, I mean, I'd been drinking it. I'd already had a day and a half at that point. This tastes really good. I'd have another one. I only had the one, but I'd have another one. Anyway, I've got a quote for you. This quote comes from Sigmund Freud. Fruit, dude. The only person with whom you have to compare yourself is you in the past. Are you doing well? Better since yesterday? Great, you're doing better. Are you doing better since 2 years ago? Great, you're doing better. I mean, it depends upon how you decide what better is, but do better, I guess, really. And just compare you with you in the past. You don't have to be anybody else. You're you. Don't forget. Anyway, you can find me at TubaJake_69 on Untapped YouTube and Twitter. And on Instagram, you can find me at TubaJake_. Don't forget to tell me your stories. I like to hear them. Hopefully you do too. I'm going to keep telling you my stories and any other stories that I come across if they pop into my head when I'm drinking a beer here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because it makes it so that other people get to see this. And hopefully you like to watch things that other people like to watch. And hopefully that's me. Anyway, I'll see you next time. When you got time for a beer.